Cody, welcome to the webinar. Tell us a bit more about Gen H2 and perhaps more importantly, what's your understanding of the perception challenge with hydrogen in the US?
Oh, thanks for having us on today, Rob. This is a great opportunity for us to actually change these perceptions that you've talked about and what you showed in your opening. Gen H2 is a leader in hydrogen infrastructure solutions. We're currently engineering solutions for on-site hydrogen production, which is a little bit different than just doing things off-site and trucking the hydrogen in. We also work on liquefaction, zero-loss liquid hydrogen storage, and dispensing. Our primary objective at Gen H2 is to create and commercialize technology that can be mass produced. We're currently constructing our first manufacturing site in Florida to do just that. But as far as misconceptions go, especially regarding the US, and it actually is true for globally as well, these misconceptions actually need to be addressed. And it's interesting that back in 2003, there was an excellent paper detailing the 20 hydrogen myths, and those 20 hydrogen myths are still true today. And so clearly some of these stuff that, Casper brought up too, there is this point of education. But I would like to bring up the discussion of three of the biggest myths that we see on a day-to-day. And first and foremost is safety. While hydrogen has its safety issues, the industry is continuing to prioritize hydrogen safety measures. And there's really four safety issues that we see that gets brought up all the time. First of all, the question is hydrogen toxic? Well, it's not. Unlike many conventional fuels, we're used to everything that is used to power our vehicles, our trains, our ships, to have some toxicity to it. And that's just simply not true with hydrogen. The second thing, too, that people don't understand is that hydrogen is 14.4 times lighter than air. So it disperses quickly when it is exposed. And so if there's a hydrogen leak, if there's a problem with an existing tank, storage solution, even a piping system, the hydrogen quickly disperses inside the air, therefore scattering it out. And there's not such an issue being in the air. Another key point on the safety is basically hydrogen flames are just not as hot as gasoline flames. And the reason why that's important, it significantly reduces the secondary fires that could potentially come up if there was a disaster. And then the fourth thing on the safety is that basically hydrogen requires a significantly higher requirement for an explosion than other fossil fuels. So once again, as I mentioned before, it disperses quickly. It does require more oxygen. So one of these big myths is that everybody thinks about hydrogen exploding, just like somebody said on your opening statement. And we just need to change that perception that hydrogen is not only safe but very effective. Another key point perception that we are trying to change is that hydrogen is not an energy source like oil or coal. It's truly an energy carrier, much more like electricity. Actually, at Gen H2, we actually referred to hydrogen as liquid electricity. And so we're trying to explain that as you capture energy through solar, through wind cells, even nuclear or geothermals, there's so many ways to create energy. How do you store that long term? And we at Gen H2 are trying to optimize that storage of that energy once it's created for long-term use. And so we're working on a liquid solution for that. And then the third main point I'd like to bring up today on perception is the viability of hydrogen. Can it be done in 30 or 50 years? And what we're seeing that number is just way too great. We actually do believe that significant strides can be made by the year 2030 and definitely by 2050. So it takes typically about 14 years to turn over a fleet of cars. So that means every 14 years, there's going to be a chance to get new technology out there. We're already seeing that right now in the battery electric vehicles on the road today. But those are the three primary myths that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.